I'm just going to quickly show you how to set up MSI afterburner so that you can record video. Obviously launch it, then go to your settings, click this button here to go over and move these tabs over, hit video capture. This first box allows you to set your hotkey. I usually use F9, you can use whatever you want. Don't change your video format. This is controlled by the application and it does the best job here. If you know a little more advanced stuff about video recording and editing, then you can change it to whatever you want for future projects to make it more compatible with your video editing software. Here we have your quality setting. This can be anywhere from 25% quality all the way up to 100. I usually record it at 75 to 100, and I always record full frame. Full frame is 1080p for me. I can force it 1080p down here as well. If I'm not playing a game that supports 1080p, you'll still be able to record it in 1080p. So you'll still get your high definition. So half frame for me would be running at 720p, but I'll leave it full frame. Frame rate, this is the ideal frame rate at which you can record at. You won't be able to hit 50 frames per second all the time. For example, it'll always fluctuate no matter what. That's a hardware issue. If I wanted to record at anything like say 30, if my hardware can support over 30 frames per second recording, then I can record it at 30. It won't dip any lower than that, but it also won't go any higher than that. Frame rate limit. Now this, you won't go any lower than this, and you won't go any higher than this. I recommend leaving it off. The only real time you want frame limiting is when you're doing like slow motion animation and stuff like that. Here we can customize where we set up, or where we save our videos we record to. It can be anywhere you want. Down here, this is a relatively new feature of Afterburner. For the longest time they did not support audio recording, but nowadays they do. So you'll get the program standard like this. They also just added second source. So we can set none, leave it none to not record any audio. We can hit auto select. I haven't tested this. I recommend just going down to WAS API playback device. Click it, and then select wherever your game sound comes from. I don't recommend recording with a headset and playing your game sounds through your headset at the same time, because anybody on VoIP will be audible in the video that you record. So you should try and run your VoIP separate from your speakers or your game sounds. Down here, if you want to include your VoIP, you can change your device. For example, say I have my audio coming out of my digital headset, digital output to my digital headset. I can select it here. But I don't have a headset right now, so I'm just going to select none. So you can go ahead and hit OK if you want, or we can go a little further into the recording software. Up in the top right here, or top left here, or you can even customize it to your top right, sorry, is purple text, and that will tell you different information. But that is your on-screen display. You can come to on-screen display here and set up your hotkeys to toggle it on and off, to show it, to hide it. There's also this box here. I highly recommend you uncheck it. If you leave it checked, that frame rate counter, there's like a memory counter you can add, GPU frequency, memory frequency, all kinds of stuff you can add to it, fan speeds, and that will show up in your videos. So you can uncheck that and they won't show up in your video. Next we're going to configure what shows up in your on-screen display. This box here controls how quickly it refreshes. So for example, every 500 milliseconds my information that shows up in the top left corner is updated. I have showing my GPU temperature, my GPU usage, my memory clock, and a frame rate. I can enable core clock or anything else by clicking on what I want and coming down here and checking this box. If you had a Logitech G15 or G19 series keyboard, for example, with a little display built into it. You can hit that and it will show up on your keyboard as well, but I don't have one. I own a Razer Lycosa, and I don't want core clock in my screen display. You can also capture screen images. You can set your hotkey here. I use F10 as you see. I change it to BMP obviously. And you can change the location and the quality as well. Then you just hit OK and we're good. And that's my short tutorial on recording video with MSI Afterburner. Before I finish, I'll show you the actual whole point of MSI Afterburner. I don't own an MSI MSI card. I actually own an XFX card. With an MSI card and certain other cards, you can control your core voltage and power limits. With MSI Afterburner and any video card, you can control your core clock and your memory clocks. So you can overclock if you wanted. I usually run at about 8:30, but I'll run it at 8:20 today just for fun. And put this up to 1250 for gigs too. You can also control your fan speed. So if I'm running at those kind of clocks, I'll want to run my fan awful fast. And I'll save this profile to number 1. So turn that back down, hit apply, turn that down a bit. And I'll save that to my number 2. This will be for watching movies in high definition, for example. But we don't want to do that right now. We don't need those. So also hit this to apply overclocking and system start. That makes sure that when your computer restarts, it automatically sends these overclocks to your video card and enables them. To bypass them, you can hold Control key immediately after logging into Windows before MSI Afterburner starts up, and that will override those and set those back to stock settings if you have a bad overclock. I hope that helps. Thanks a lot. Bye.